This video is going to talk about how to simplify expressions. So if I have 2w plus 3a plus w minus 2a, what exactly does that mean? Well, that means 2w. If I had 2 times 5, that would mean 5 plus 5, or 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, because either there's 2 5s or there are 5 2s. And when we look at variables, that means the same thing. So this 2w means the same as w plus w. This 3a means the same as a plus a plus a. We have a w here. We have minus a because these are two negative a's. So let's go through and let's count and see what's going on here. We have 1, 2, 3 w's, and we have 1, 2, 3, 2, 1 a's, and a positive a. So what just happened is we just expanded this entire expression and then we put it all back together again. But you don't need to expand this every time. If you take a look at all the w's in this equation, you have 2w plus w. Well, we know that when you just see one variable, that just means that there's one of them. 2 plus 1 is 3, so you have 3 w's. And then you have 3a minus 2a. 3a's minus 2a's is the same thing as having 1a. So all you need to do is you need to put plus a. Let's take a look at another expression. We have 5f squared plus f. Let's take a look at what that means. This right here means 5 sets of f times f. That means ff, 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 ff. These are all being added together. Plus, we have this 1f. Can we combine these f's together? The answer is no. Let's go ahead and replace f with some number. Let's pick the number 3 because that's relatively easy to work with. If all of these are 3's, this means 3 times 3 plus 3 times 3 plus 3 times 3 plus 3 times 3 plus 3 times 3. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 3. When you follow PEMDAS, the first thing that you need to do is you need to multiply. So this becomes 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 3. Are 9s the same thing as 3s? No, they're not. And even though I'm putting random numbers in here for variables, I'm only doing that to double check that what I'm doing is correct, and that's the only reason you should be doing it on your work. Because when we get to the actual answer, it turns out there is nothing we can do to this equation. This is simplified as far as it can go just the way it is. There's nothing else we can do to it without knowing what f stands for. And because we can only guess at what f stands for, we can't prove it, it doesn't count. So this is actually completely simplified. Let's take a look at division. If I have 4a over 2, to simplify this, there's a couple different ways I can look at it. I believe that somewhere in the videos I have some sort of reducing fractions using the canceling out method, which would mean that we do this. And you see that because there's a 2 here and a 2 here, these cancel out. This becomes 2a over 1, or just 2a. And there's nothing else that you can do because you don't know what that a stands for. If we have 5c times c, we can do c times c. There is a way to simplify that. It's not going to be with numbers, but it's still going to be using that variable. C times c is the same thing as saying c squared. So our answer here is 5c squared. If we have something a little bit more complicated, like 3ce over 9e, what I would do is I would still choose to break this out and just use the prime factorization. 3 can't be broken down. 3 times c times e. 9 can be broken down into 3 times e. Because there's a 3 on top and a 3 on bottom, we can cancel these out. Because there's an e on top and an e on the bottom, we can also cancel these out. And we're left with c over 3, and there's nothing else we can do. There's one more that I have to look at. What we're going to look at is we're going to look at 2h to the third k over h to the second w. And if I break that out using prime factorization, here's what it's going to look like. 2 times h to the third power means h times h times h, because you see h 3 times. Then we still have that k in there. Down here we have h to the second power, which means h times h, and that w, which means we put the w in there. Now we're going to cancel out. There's an h on the top and the bottom, so these get canceled out. I'm left with 2hk over w, and that's as far as I can go.